Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let me know if you can hear me. Perfect. All right, all right. Let's get this party started. All three of us. All three of us. Oh, it's all good.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Love in this light. There's God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
All right. Welcome, 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 or welcome back. I'm Goddess Dawn. It's Thursday, April 22nd, 2021. And we back live. So much happening in the world. Got to come and talk about it. Tokes. Yeah. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Yeah, that's right. What's up, Marcus? Miss Kim, Priscilla. What up, fam? Yeah, we're here just recapping on what's going on in the week. A lot of happenings. I believe it's what one could consider historical. I don't think we've seen alive. I don't think we've seen a guilty verdict for a murdering police officer ever. I don't think, right? So historical moments taking place as the astrology predicted. Can't leave out the planets and all. Yeah. But yeah, so who'd have thunk? Oh, Chauvin getting the shovel. Yeah, he buried himself though when he did what he did. Murdered George Floyd, a man who had his definite struggles, as we all do, right? Walking this earth. They want to condemn the man because he lived his life. But in the end, at least we get some accountability. And by no means is it any resolution, nor do I actually consider it a victory, to be very honest. I do consider it to be a milestone event. I consider it to be precedence. I think that it's a marker that can be used moving forward with future legal cases. And also, hopefully, it will put a seed, plant a seed or two or three to these men and women in blue that this could possibly get me in trouble. Let me not do this. Let me not do what I'm thinking I should, that I want to do, that I've been doing. Yeah, I've been getting away with this, but maybe I should consider not doing this. So we are definitely wanting these police officers to stop killing our people, our children. The very day that the verdict came down, we had another tragic event take place by the hands of an officer shooting a girl said to be 16 years old in foster care. But does that matter? I don't think so. The fact that there could have been other means around de-escalating, such as taser, or maybe even commands. I don't know. Did he even hesitate before he pulled the trigger? And I think 4 times to the chest. It's heartbreaking. This is someone's child, regardless of whether she was in foster care or not. She's a child of God. And no one deserves that type of death, but it does happen. So let's talk about this verdict. He got guilty across the board. And the charges were, I had them written. I don't have my notes, so I'm going off the down. Let me look it up here. Let me I'm gonna put the link in the chat in case someone wants to join, someone or people. Hope everyone is doing well. And, you know, even though all these restrictions are being lifted in different cities, saying basically we good again to go outside and to live. They're encouraging mask still and distancing, but people, you know, from what I understand, are still being hospitalized and getting sick and dying. So take your precautions and be smart. I put the link in there, so anybody want to join Ms. Kim, you know, feel free. In the meantime, let me pull up an article so we can see, get the details and weigh out what took place. Derek Chauvin. I'll just pull up the first article actually that came up. Let me share the screen. All right. Headline: Derek Chauvin guilty of murder in George Floyd's death. The death of George Floyd, a 46-year-old Black man, touched off international protests against police brutality and racial injustice. He did have a weird look in his eyes. They say he was emotionless. I didn't really honestly invest in the trial. I had mentioned this previously. I feel that the trauma I endured, honestly, with Trey before the trial itself, the trial, and beyond, it took me. I couldn't, you know, I have to protect myself. So if it sounds selfish to you that I couldn't really invest all my energy into it, you know, it's not that. It's not a selfish move. But yeah, so he was found guilty on all counts to causing George Floyd's death, a verdict that could send the disgraced former Minneapolis police officer the rest of his life. His eyes darted left and right over his light blue surgical mask as Judge Peter Cahill read the jury's verdict, but he betrayed little else in the way of emotion. He betrayed. I don't know if that should be portrayed. Chauvin, who was convicted of second and third degree murder, as well as second degree manslaughter, stood up quickly after the judge ordered his bail revoked and compliantly placed handcuffed before he was let out of the courtroom. He faces up to 75 years in prison when he returns for sentencing in 8 weeks. However, under Minnesota law, the sentences are likely to run concurrently, meaning Chauvin would serve no more than 40 years in prison. Yeah, so the defense attorney says he left without comment. I mean, what is there to say? He lost big. I mean, even his closing arguments, the little bit that I heard, all I could say was it was on live video. It was on live video. Every time he would say, you need to have proof beyond a reasonable doubt. It was on live video. It was video live and viral. Like, yeah. So do you guys feel that these charges, I mean, the guilty verdicts, I mean, obviously are a win, but do we feel that the charges are enough? And we know he's probably going to, Ms. Kim is here. He's probably going to appeal, I'm thinking. I don't know, but he didn't plea out, right? So I guess we're looking at in 8 weeks. I think he forfeited having the jury decide the sentencing, and the judge is going to decide, from my understanding. But in 8 weeks, we'll find out what his sentence will be. What do you all think he should be sentenced? I'm curious. I say just throw the book at him, and the most they could get, the most they could give him, he should get. Period.
I agree.
Get that on the screen. What's happening, Miss Kim? Thank you for joining.
No problem. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? Hope everybody's being safe. I think that he should get throw away the key. That's what I think as well. And he might get more than 75 years. They investigating. I guess every arrest that he's ever some things already that's fraudulent and lies. So they want to know exactly. He's been on the force, I believe, over 11 years, if I'm not mistaken. And then he's a big liar, from what they're saying. Very violent.
Yeah, so that definitely so the conviction and just looking into his background before the trial definitely begs the question of what has this dude been doing his whole career? He got caught on video this time, but what about all the years before when he was on the beat? Welcome back, Mary Blue. Yes, you finally made it. You get bail. All right. So we're talking about old Derek Chauvin and his conviction, and the fact that it is unprecedented, but definitely there's still work to be done, and a whole reformation of these systems that bind us need to be handled. ASAP. Priscilla says Minnesota has sentencing recommendation 40 years up to mitigating factors in judge. Okay. I just I couldn't imagine the world should he got not guilty. So shout out to that jury. Go ahead, what you were saying, sorry.
And then I said I'm just but they're gonna look into the whole police department.
Oh my goodness. We have a guest.
Oh, who?
Miss Della?
Hello.
Hey, what's happening? Oh, we get bells. Yes.
Welcome.
2 years later. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? I look terrible too.
You're beautiful.
But you're beautiful.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, so because it's too much for me to write, so I do believe. Hi, Miss Kim.
Hello.
I do believe that he had I think like 16 or 17 previous complaints against him already.
Okay.
So I do know that. I do know with all the charges, I mean, with him being guilty, one of them, I believe the second degree, I believe one of them is holding 40 years. This man would never get out of jail again.
Okay, now I get it. Okay.
So, I mean, and then you still got all three. So they're going to, lump them up. But again, I'm a little concerned.
About
what the issue with Maxine Waters, the congresswoman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, she made a couple of comments.
Yeah, they're trying. Go ahead. Well, I was just going to say, I heard that based on what she was saying, people are basically asking her to be booted. I didn't know that it would affect the case, though, or the sentence.
So the judge was very upset and made comments to the point where he was actually saying that her actions could have actually caused a mistrial. However, he also said that he can actually appeal. So I'm a little worried, I'm worried that, everybody's, oh my God, he's he's been found guilty, and they go back and reverse this. Can you imagine the chaos?
No,
Man,
I don't want to.
I have
That
a question.
Go
What
ahead.
with the other officers? They
They're
kind of
coming
like,
up.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
Oh
okay,
they
yeah,
still have.
yes.
They're pending. Yeah, they're next.
okay.
I don't think that they're going to get as much as he did. Now it's kind of crazy because I believe I want to say it was the Asian police officer I believe was just working at Taco Bell a couple of months ago prior to
Really?
him becoming a
What
police officer.
he was the Asian one? I think was that the one that was related to his wife? Was that her
Yes,
brother?
well,
Yeah,
yes, and one of them was working. I believe it was at a Taco Bell.
yeah. And you know what? He still had that tax, him and his wife, but they said, she's divorcing him now, but she had got arrested because they had did tax fraud, if I'm not
Of course
mistaken.
they did.
Yes, of course.
And the IRS be take they come boy. But they found more. I think it went up to over 20 now with his complaints and things that he should have even been written up for that never even had. They found one verbal warning, I guess, but like no suspensions and stuff. Um, they're looking into the whole police department, right now, like all of them. And they
Yes,
were
I know.
like,
Yes, the department.
yeah,
You're correct. The Department of Justice is looking into that.
I think they even seen they didn't fill out police reports correctly. Like they even found errors with that, like big errors.
Well,
Mm,
they lied. So
Yeah,
when it first came out, all they said, "Oh, we had an incident, possible fraudulent $20," and the victim, incident occurred, and the victim was taken to the hospital. That's what he
right.
basically what he said. And then
Yeah, they
that's when
didn't.
the video came out, and he fired them the next day.
Right.
That's so if they didn't have the video, this would be
hmm
one other person, sorry, black person dead.
Another,
and
exactly, with no
I,
accountability behind it. And shout out though to Darnella Frazier. Darnella Frazier, she's the young lady, teenager, they said, who recorded the viral video.
you,
And she was the bystander whose
yeah,
testimony and video really is the reason
they're opening
this
brought
happened.
yeah.
I
And they
agree.
said, um, I didn't watch I couldn't watch the trial. I didn't. It was emotional, of course, but they said that the close up, I guess for one of the cameras footage, like the street light, showed where he was when he put his hands in his pocket. He was grinding his knee, like
Probably so. Probably putting more
that.
pressure on there, and
Yeah,
and looked
and
happy doing it.
yes, he did. He looked very. He looked like he was getting a lot of satisfaction. That smirk on his face, and he.
Hmm.
The more people gathered around that was saying stop, the more he did, and the longer he took. And from what I read one time, I read an article saying that he even got in the back of the ambulance truck, like he was even bullying the EMS people. And I'm just like, they're like he was. I don't know if it was true that he really was hitting on him. And they're like, he's gone. Like, he's not here. He's not living. Like, what more do you want?
They probably was nervous, but due to the fact that I believe that Chauvin threatened a young lady to tase her if she didn't
Yeah.
stop filming, and she continued to stop filming. However, I believe there was a EMT there,
hmm
and one of the police officers refused to let her, to check
Yeah.
on him. So he's going to get it too, because he
Yeah.
wouldn't let her check. Yeah, to check on
Yeah.
him, to check his vitals.
And then from what I read, I think they said one of the witnesses that was gonna testify got harassed a few days, I think maybe Saturday. Um, I don't know if this is two incidents or if it's the same one that they killed a pig and put pig blood everywhere.
Good
Um,
Lord.
I think it's two different incidents because the one that happened the day of the trial, I mean the other conviction, I mean, of the verdict, that was the one of the I want to say detectives or former used to be a fellow officer. He was actually on the murderer's side, like saying that you know, but he's no longer lived in the home anymore. So I guess whoever Googled him, it pulled up his old address. He hadn't lived in that house, they said, in a few years, but that happened the day of the verdict. They threw pig's blood all over, and I want to say even the head or something like that with a nasty message. And then they went downtown and they spreaded it everywhere.
Good
in front
Lord.
of the
And that's just some satanic stuff.
yeah,
Yes.
they were saying that, you know, some of the, I guess 4 African American male prison guards, um, whatever prison he's getting transported to, they got removed from their tier, and they were told it was because to protect them, so it wouldn't be like a race riot inside the prison. And so them officers, that was, I think, recent news yesterday, like yesterday evening, they spoke up and were saying like they never been taken off of their tier. It's not like they couldn't handle the prisoners. They said because he was on his way, he would be there soon. And it was kind of, you know, it ended up being discovered that it was just a racist prejudice move. So then
Of
the boss
course it
ended up
was.
putting them, assigning them back. Like, you only picked out the only 4 blacks out of the whole, you know, staffing, nobody else.
Mm-hmm. How is
Well, I
it though that how does it play into it all that they had a previous working relationship, even though they weren't working necessarily, I guess, together in us, because he was still,
Right.
what's his name, was still an officer at the time. But
Yeah.
for them to have worked at that club all those years, something to me is, I don't know, it just seems some personal something was going on also. And I know we don't know and we won't know, but I can't help but keep bringing it up because I don't hear that a lot
From
come up.
what they're saying, he even gave him a hard time on the job at the nightclub. Like,
Yeah.
and other black people as well, like harassment and bullying and intimidation and everything. So it did seem like it was personal. Like, as soon as he got the opportunity, that's
Yeah.
when
How was it
people.
him that got called to the scene
And
out
I
of
wonder
all the
what came
police?
through on his cell phone or his Apple Watch or something. Like, he was getting, as if he was getting something, a message or something, like, you know, like coerced or something, maybe. Like, yeah, we can see you, you know, on people's phones or whatever. Keep, don't, you know, it just seemed like to me, it is deeper. And the way he was so taken, that was like the most energy he's ever showed during this whole, or you know, since he murdered you know, a man. That's somebody's child, brother, father. You took it upon yourself to take a life. You don't make that.
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Because
then
you
when
felt
he
that
he was
he didn't
so,
mean anything. He was
that
worthless
man,
to you.
he almost jumped up out that seat. Like, he couldn't believe. I thought he was gonna throw the chair or something at the judge. I thought he was gonna do New Jack City or something and say, "Y'all gonna do me like this?" Like, that's not what I was told. That is not. He looked like his whole mental had flipped. He couldn't believe that. Guilty. Oh no, he was messed up. He was messed up. That had really floored him.
And
Well,
you
it
know
sounds
he
like the
posted a
police were
$1 million
relieved.
bond.
Mm.
What was that, Della?
He posted $1 million bond.
Oh, who posted it for him though? Who gave him that
Probably
$1 million?
probably police officers, just like the Rittenhouse one. They found out that you had police officers donate money to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had that.
Or,
He had $1 million to
I'm
get out.
sure Candace Owens was number one sponsor. You know,
Who?
Candace Owens. She probably was the
Oh,
number one contributor.
You
I
remember
don't even know
Ricky
why
Ricky
does she have
Schroeder?
a platform anyway? Who
I don't
cares what she
know.
thinks? I don't care about her. She is
Right.
ridiculous. Candace
I
Owens.
know.
Oh my
We
gosh.
talked about the
And
young
all she
lady.
does is go on Fox News. So when the
Mm.
verdict came out, so what they're saying is they're saying that the jury was afraid to say not guilty because they felt that
It was
everybody gonna tear up everything. That's so. I mean, I even read that so me and my fingers on YouTube, that one guy wrote that oh well, so now is he going to take that $27 million that he was given and take out his Black Lives Matter people to Popeyes? That's what he wrote with the 27 million that he stole from taxpayers' money. I tore that man apart.
what?
I tore him apart.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, so that's what they're thinking. They all thinking that the jury was terrified. That's why they
Oh
say
well,
guilty and everything.
whatever it takes.
Right.
They can't fathom the fact that this man deserves this, right? They can't wrap their little pea brains around the fact that this was a murder right in front of your eyes. If that was happening to one of their family members, to their
Exactly.
child, would you still feel the same way? No,
Yes,
I doubt it.
if it was one of theirs, it wouldn't even been taken. It would going to trial wouldn't have been no option. It just would have been straight conviction, if not.
And it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
You
eye
can
for eye.
rewind it all the way back to that. It would not have even happened.
Yeah.
They have compassion for theirs.
I
We've seen
agree.
that over and over again.
And so while you know that the Floyd family and you know his lawyer Al Sharpton and all of them was doing a press conference yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So after the you would not well whenever they was doing a press conference after they was doing a press conference after the the verdict was read.
Mm-hmm.
Governors and governors in Florida had just signed a new bill. You're gonna love this one. If people are protesting, you have the right to run them over with your car.
What?
I read it and it was even on NSNBC. Yes, look at it, read it. They proposing Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida. They as they were on TV speaking, and look, NSNBC broke through and said they're writing up a bill. They're writing up a bill in Florida. If you're protesting, if you run them over with your car, it's okay. And I wrote, really? Somebody's going to get hurt. They don't care because they can't tell the difference between protesting and rioting. All they see is a Black Lives Matter and rioting. That's all they see. They don't see
Right.
the purpose of why we out here protesting. They don't see that.
And most of the
So,
time, it's not
okay,
even rioting. We're just.
I'm gonna pull this article up because I couldn't believe that. All right. Florida passes bill to crack down on riots, but critics warn it threatens peaceful protests. You think?
Mm-hmm.
The Florida legislature passed legislation that its backers say aims to crack down on riots and property damage. And who do they look at as a rioter and a person who damages
I guess
property?
somebody running out of Target with a
But the bill's opponents argue it will have a chilling effect on peaceful protests and it is a threat to free speech. Wow, I thought most protests have get permits and stuff, right? I thought
Right.
most of the big
just like when the Ku Klux Klan want to come to DC, how they get a permit. But see, they talk to people, so that's why I say a lot of people are nervous. So, even a couple of people on a job, when you start out, of course, everybody knows it was a horrible way that he died. But when you start
right.
a sentence off with me saying, well, he wasn't a saint, right? He wasn't innocent. That's telling me right then and there where how you really feel.
Yeah.
I understand. That's how you really. When you start, I don't care what that man did.
Right.
You do not have the right to put your knee on somebody's neck and murder them. I don't care. But when you start out by saying, he wasn't a saint, right? All this protesting, they're tearing up our. That's how I know how you really feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a different time though. We've never seen this before. I'm gonna keep emphasizing that because I want to make sure we do see that there has been some change, even if it's just to provide hope. Sometimes false hope. I mean, hey, hope begets hope and then positivity, which causes change. So let's stay hopeful. I'm just glad that it did have this outcome. I don't care if they were scared, if the jury was scared. I mean, I really honestly would hope that they feel compassion and they see the truth right in front of their eyes. But at the time, I think 8 of the jurors are white, right? I don't know. I just thought that was kind of weird to me too.
I think it was 4-4, 4-4, and then 2 they didn't say.
Oh, they had 2 alternates too, I think too.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the alternates spoke out, but I didn't hear what they said.
Yeah.
Well,
If
yeah. So I guess my point in that is just to say we know those weren't his peers. So,
okay,
but at the same time, the type of case this is, it's really, are you human?
yeah,
Because this could happen to you, this could happen to anybody, and he died as a human by the way that this man's knee was on his neck. He was a human being. That's, life is precious. Like something like you go, he didn't expect this that day, obviously. He
yeah,
was having a good old time, had a little fentanyl in his system.
yeah,
Not to say it like that, like it's a good thing, but I'm just saying he was living his life, and it sounds like maybe he had to medicate because we were all traumatized. This damn place traumatized us all. We all have our different ways to cope, and his happened to be a little this and a little that, a little this and a little that everybody don't, that they're not into. But that doesn't mean he did deserve to die like that. Okay.
exactly. And at the end of the day, like you said, it's just, are you even human? And to if anything, the jury should be scared of law. Like what happens if officers are not being held accountable for their actions? That should be the fear. I do
I
believe it's
agree.
waking up. It shook up a little bit the waters, so people are waking up. People eyes are opening. Not everybody's, but it has brought attention to, and it's a lot of people in different nationalities that's not letting it go. Not with George Floyd and nobody else, and they're so then, it's a real eye opener too, as well. And most law officials and judges and all them and doctors and nurses, honey, they could pass a pop up random drug test if they wanted to. They
They all
confiscate,
lit. They
they
all
do the
lit, huh,
dope,
Kim?
and they sell the dope. He probably that Chauvinist or whatever his name is. He probably number one supplier in the nightclub. That's probably why he had a side job. He
He had
probably
that side job. I think that man had that side job because he's one of those typical dirty cops you see on TV. I feel like TV and movies show us a lot of real life stuff, and I do feel like art imitates life. And dirty cops like him live everywhere. They're in every crevice of this country, and they need to be
I
burned
agree.
out,
You know
smoke
what?
them all out with this verdict.
I'm willing to bet he might be part of some trafficking. You never know.
Right? He's probably escorting the traffickers,
Yep,
make sure they
he
get to
might
their
be
destination.
underground. They should look into that nightclub. Do y'all have some kind of hidden rooms in there or something? Something going on.
Well, he was
Well,
stopped. It was beautiful to see his expression, to see him get handcuffed. It was beautiful because he did look like, what in the world is this?
yeah,
Yep,
he had a shock in his eyes. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
played it again today. They was like, his eyes was scanning back and forth. He was
He's like, seriously? He's like, but y'all told me, but they're
You
like,
told me
hold up.
hang in there. You got
Yeah,
$1
they
million
telling him.
for a bond.
That's what
Hang
they
in
telling
there.
R. Kelly. I can't wait to see this play out. And we got him coming up too. Little
I
Yeah.
update
know.
on
I
him.
can't wait to get because I got a question. I'll wait for you to get. I'll wait for you to go on there, and I want you
Oh,
to know
okay.
it's 11
Well,
o'clock.
I know. Well, before we get there, real quick, I want to give this lady her flowers. I mentioned her. Let me pull up this article. Yeah, so I'm gonna go straight from the headline here. Uplift this sister. Darnella Frazier deserves all the flowers after enduring trauma in order to hold Derek Chauvin accountable. There are a great many people responsible for George Floyd receiving justice yesterday. There were local protesters, activists, even tweeters. Twitter was lit. And Instagrammers, but the one person specifically deserves all the praise and adulation for the guilty verdict that was handed down. Her name is Darnella Frazier. For those who are unaware of who Darnella is, she's the then 17-year-old stood on the curb in front of Cup Foods in Minneapolis and recorded Derek Chauvin murdering George Floyd. That recording also captured the other now criminally charged officers on the scene doing absolutely nothing to stop the murder. Those officers testified against Chauvin, and he would have walked scot-free without Darnella's video recording. If you somehow doubt that irrefutable fact, be reminded of the initial police report that was filed subsequent to the killing. And that was what Della was saying. And I think, what is this right here? Yeah, let's read this, actually. Someone posted, man dies. So this must have been a report about it, but man dies after medical incident during police interaction. And this is May 25th, 2020. On Monday evening, shortly after 8 p.m., officers from the Minneapolis Police Department responded to the 3700 block of Chicago Avenue South on a report of forgery in progress. Officers were advised that the suspect was sitting on top of a blue car and appeared to be under the influence. 2 officers arrived and located the suspect, a male believed to be in his 40s, in his car. He was ordered to step from his car. After he got out, he physically resisted the officers. Officers were able to get the suspect into handcuffs and noted he appeared to be suffering medical distress. Officers called for an ambulance. He was transported to Hennepin County Medical Center by ambulance, where he died a short time later. At no time were weapons of any type used by anyone involved in this incident, except for a knee.
Exactly.
The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension has been called to investigate this incident at the request of the Minneapolis Police Department. Yeah, no officers were injured.
They tried to pull out a BS report, and then his boss did not know until the next day. I think his boss said when someone called him and asked him, did he say the video? He's like, what video?
Wow. Wow. And it would have just gone in the file and life would have gone on for these people as usual. So
exactly.
Dang, shout out to Darnella Frazier. I think, is this her? Yeah, this is her. Let's give her flowers.
Yeah.
17 years old and with balls of steel to do that.
Yeah.
More than the other officers that were standing around had more balls than him.
Yeah. More exactly. Darnella Frazier. What was that?
I can only imagine a child and then witnessing something like that.
There was an 8-year-old, right, that testified, 8 or 9. She was there too. Saw that. Can you imagine? Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
They didn't show her face.
Right.
A child.
So to just finish this one off, it says Darnella Frazier's testimony was soul crushing. She has agonized over not only what Derek Chauvin forced her to witness, but also over the guilt she feels for not being able to do more to save Floyd from dying in the first place. No child should have that type of responsibility placed on their shoulders, yet Darnella let her conscience be her guide and stood steadfast in the face of evil in order to promote accountability.
Exactly.
So, it's a shame that a 17-year-old had to be the one. I mean, I know there were other people who recorded it, but honestly, had not been for her, those other recordings would have gone unseen. I'm pretty sure.
She got a great recording of him. Like,
it was right up close and personal.
And they don't be moving the phone and stuff and the feet. No, she dead in his eyes. You gonna
You can see you can see like the white from his lips and everything. Tear was hard to even. I hate when they show that video. I just kind of turn my head because I don't want to see it no more. You see somebody saying something and then the next minute they're dead. They're passed.
Right.
Who wants to see that?
Priscilla's been giving us some insight on the trial because I had asked about the little girl. She said she's 9 years old. She was 9 years old. She testified, and Darnella is her cousin, I think you're saying. So the family, so these young girl, well, obviously 9 years old is a girl, but young, impressionable minds, and this imprinted on them. Hopefully they use this as fuel to do great things, Yeah. Wow. So unless y'all have anything else, I'm gonna move on off of this.
Here it is. Ever since, what was that? Last year when you had that nurse on the phone.
I know.
Drank a cup of hot tea every night.
That nurse was something.
That. Do you remember that, Miss Kim?
Yes, I do.
She had a nurse on the phone saying, Back in the day, we used to do like the old remedies, hot tea, and I drink a
Yep.
cup of tea and I'm gonna suffer for it in the morning because I'm gonna
Yeah.
be up.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'll be having to use the bathroom all night.
I look, it's like a part of my life now.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm so glad we here at Got Us Done Live are able to impact your life in that way. Oh,
Can you believe I joined?
huh?
I didn't even know if I could join. I said, you know what? Let me push this in the iPad. Let me throw on
I know I am shocked, but I'm so happy.
a quick earring and a nightgown on.
You good. You beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes,
Uh,
you and Miss Kim over here holding it down for me.
Yeah.
You can always
yes,
put up an
Miss Kim.
avatar, but
Eh.
we prefer the smiles. So what else is okay? Let me pull up my my thumbnail because let's see here.
Oh.
I'm getting better at my thumbnails. Okay, so let's see. We crossed him off. Okay, let's keep fighting for change and Black Lives Matter. Now I don't know about this. The Black Lives Matter organization is getting a lot of heat because some of the leaders are being accused of, using, I guess, the platform to do self-promoting things, and like one of them, Tamika, I think, was on like a award show. Was it the Grammys? And I don't know. They're just, but I don't know. I'm kind of like, look, if you're doing some work that promotes you and gives you a big platform, I think the platform is going to be useful for the work you're doing. So it's good to, but I think also you got to pick and choose the right that serve your mission and your purpose.
Yeah.
And also it seems like the Black Lives Matter movement seemed like it got taken over, honestly. I don't know. Or was it always funded by that George Soros guy that they say is behind it?
He's behind a lot of things that do the Epstein stuff or whatever, Kim Fox with the Kales and all that other mess. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into Black Lives Matter. That's a whole separate video. But this is Maisha, I think. I think her
I'll
name
do
is
some
Maisha.
research too.
Yes, let's do the research together. So I don't have to do all the work. And we can come back live and put all our thoughts together.
Yeah, throw everything in a pot.
Gumbo. I think this is Maisha's. I think her name is Maisha. Her smile here, and it's just so sad. Her life is so short, and she was fighting these grown women. I mean, I don't understand what grown women are fighting a teenager for. I mean, what? But then we have over to the right. Who is this in the right-hand corner? Well, right hand to me. Who's that man in that red cap? I don't even recognize that sucker. Ain't nobody thinking about this food job. Turkey?
Yeah.
Going to the 70s blaxploitation. All right, so let me get this down. There we go. So, Michael Williams. Here we Good job, Michael Williams.
Right.
Pleading guilty, dummy. This man, I can't help but laugh.
He got a hell of a enablers and handlers, boy. Dumber.
Where does he find them? So is it true that he is the brother of, I think, Cash Jones? They're saying that, or cousin. They're saying he's the cousin. That keeps getting reported. She's denied it, but
of
course, Greenberg said R. Kelly knew nothing about this.
Right.
He don't know
He
these
just
people.
did it on his own.
Yeah.
If you look at my IG comments, I posted about it, and there's some people in my IG comments saying that same thing. Like, he said he doesn't know those people. So feel free to go let them know what's happening if you have time. But just because he said that, come on. Even if he did say it, he hasn't said anything. How do you know he said that?
I mean,
he hasn't even said a word.
We don't know what he done said. Greenberg didn't know, when he made up the lie about him hurting his toe, and then he made the joke to the news reporter. Oh, well, I'm sure it was one of the left or right foot. I mean, I don't know. And then he You know, he claimed that it was no federal investigation, and he didn't, email. No, nobody told me. No. And then what happened? The feds was like, "Come on, let's go, let's go." But we do know is he's getting taken to the big NY. That's what we do know.
Correct.
So
I did see that.
I can't wait.
He also
So
got
whoever-
his COVID vaccine. He's got his COVID vaccine.
Okay, he's ready to go then.
He
Look, I
survived
hope
his Johnson & Johnson.
I hope he did the Johnson & Johnson. Clot away, my brother. Clot away. Look, I think that whoever wrote about that transfer, I think listened to the hearing. I missed the hearing because I ain't think this guy's not even on my radar. Okay, but apparently, so there was a hearing on the 15th, and I know I saw that Nicole Becker, who is that attorney, the female attorney he's been dealing with since Kim says since when?
Since Hector was a puppy, since the first trial. I call her cokehead. That she was at all the parties, all the cellar, all the trafficking. You look at those old pictures, she was there during the first trial. She's been around a long time. She
filed a motion to be able to appear for him, or appear in the case at least, or work, in the capacity that she wouldn't normally otherwise because she's not licensed in that state. But she did file that, and the judge approved it. So sounds to me like down to business on the defense side, trying to get their ducks in a row, and she is a duck. Quack quack.
I was scrolling on my YouTube, and one of our former people came up yesterday, was on a small roll. I never write anything. I was just listening. And I wanted to know who in the hell is One Pap. Who does he call One Pap? What does that
Oh, she has a channel.
Yeah.
I think that's Pap. Who are we talking? Okay, are we not naming? Okay, so you're talking about a YouTuber, a male YouTuber? Okay.
Yes.
I know who you're talking about. They still going back and forth? Are you kidding me?
Yes, it was.
They on that Illuminati powder. That's what they mess with.
It was name calling, and I heard One Pap. I'm thinking that what is One Pap? Is that like Pap Smear? What the hell is that? One Pap.
I think her name is Papoose.
Who the hell is One Pap?
Yeah, I think her name is a Papoose. And I think her channel is the One Papoose. I admit I caught a couple of her lives before, only because of the comedy of all this beef. But I can't believe this is still happening because I haven't been on in literally
yesterday.
Like 2 months.
Small,
are you serious?
A rant.
Oh, you're gonna force me to go look now.
Everybody there. Something was.
Oh, it's probably come down by now, though. If it was that lit, it's probably no longer available.
Something occurred where apparently, I believe, for what I heard, someone accused the Clarys of stealing his music, and apparently it was Don Russell who stole it, and something was played to tell him to put it back. You had no right to that. So it was a big old argument going on to that, and then it just went to a straight rant. I was actually laughing, name calling, all type of names, and One Pap.
They want to blame.
Before I say, who the hell is One Pap?
Straight comedy.
Yeah, so
go ahead, Kim.
Still going on.
Wow.
They under the fog, as Jody Ayers said. They all are in a spell, like zombies or something. They for real when it comes to this food.
They stuck in a loop. I mean, how do you stay in that mess like that long?
It's what, going on 3 years or something like that.
I've gone through several evolutions since then.
Yes,
I don't understand. I've had
the new age of Aquarius.
I've had whole resurrections happening over here, and these people are still swirling in the same dust.
Exactly. I think so. Maybe when he first started the first trial in New York, maybe that'll open up a few eyes. You know what I mean? There it is, videotape. You got 100 and something videotapes. All of these are not made up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're not.
I don't think anybody's gonna be I don't think any of these YouTubers would admit it if they did wake up, or they could be woke now, just still doing this for show, doing it for the cash app or whatever it is.
They doing it for that month. Some of them, to me, I believe, got prepaid, and that they signed that they basically signed over to the devil, and a lot of the rest of the little minions, they're just doing it for attention. They want to feel accepted. Their popularity vote. They're like, yeah, I'm somebody now. Finally, these are all rejects.
Sitting there lying, all them lies.
Because I mean, Jesus Christ,
what about the real world? Like, YouTube is such a bubble. I guess you get stuck in it, you in it. I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Naughty dope. That's what it is.
I get so many people hit me up like, I'm so glad you're off of that R. Kelly. I said, I ain't off them, because believe me, the knee is on the neck still. It's just not. I'm just living my life
right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because when the trial comes back, baby.
Oh yeah.
Trial is on.
It's gonna be on and popping.
Right. Come see
Especially
me.
if cameras are allowed in there in the courtroom.
Oh man, I know. Only for the state, which is the last one, I think, and later in the year, right? If it even comes, is it still going to happen, the state case, if he gets convicted in the other cases? I'm just
so
like,
far they haven't budged, and that's something. State and
true.
the IRS still ain't came. But them feds, boy, I know, you know what, he might not even make it to even see the state or whatever. But I think if he gonna be kept around long enough. So
and then there's Minnesota. He's still got to answer to that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I wouldn't be surprised if some more charges come up before this thing is over.
I believe it's gonna be.
Ller.
I believe, yes, I believe that either it's gonna be, if not all these states, it's gonna be at least one for sure that's gonna probably get added. It's gonna be probably a head buster. It's either gonna be California.
I was thinking California.
Or Atlanta, and I believe California. Only because that whoever that 12-year-old baby was, that when after he left and departed from Connecticut from reading that one superseding indictment, where it says actual kidnapping and rape, and it says in California that it was the I want to say northern or maybe southern part of California, but whoever he showed up on the scene with the handler from Connecticut that had the other teenage girl in the back of the SUV, that he physically had this baby, and whoever was witnessing about how they were crying and stuff, and he moved her around within those 3 days. I believe they're gonna come, and I think it's more than that, especially since they found that warehouse with everything else. We got that tour bus, y'all, that was in that warehouse. Imagine the DNA and stuff that collaborates with public announcement said that all of, because I said that when I heard public announcement interview, and they was like, we ain't seen Earl since. That's been over 30. He left his bags and everything. I said, well, where's this tour bus at? I said, he has to be having a lot of things. Somebody did something. I'm so glad they found it.
Oh, wonderful.
Wow.
It might be a homicide somewhere. It's just not. It's a lot of stuff that's not unsealed to the public.
Oh, I'd say more than one.
Yeah.
You listen to Alexis Tyler. Alexis Tyler say lots of them. And that river he was living by, that they were using that river.
Down the creek that had a hole in her head too, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yes, allegedly.
I hate that we have to babysit and we have to tiptoe and got pat to hold their hand. Don't say this, don't say that about this criminal and that criminal. But then you have people like old girl jumping on a panel, doing and saying the utmost, whether it's YouTube, Fox 2 News, or whatever, and I don't understand it. I just don't.
Priscilla, let me get Priscilla in here and let me read her commentary. Let's see. She said that the Fox is still faking praying too. Fake praying. Okay.
Oh, Lord, they're falling out with the 5-year-old boys.
Come on, guys. Let's see. She said when that New York Rico hit, they all gonna smoke. on fire emoji. Yeah, that Rico is covering a lot of bases, and there's a lot that we don't know. We have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
She said Don the Con allegedly stole all Kells' possessions.
Yes, so that's what I was talking about, and I
Yeah.
think they blamed the Clary's that was doing it, but like I said, so I was on the road yesterday.
Sorry, I missed it. You didn't send me. You didn't send me a text. You better start sending me a text, ma'am.
Well,
I need
you
to
know
catch
what?
up.
It was like, first of all, I thought you was going to come on, and then
I know.
saw,
I'm sorry.
and you have to realize it's 3-hour difference.
I know. Let me sit down. She done made me
And
sit
like
down.
I said, it was just a, like I said, I didn't even know that was even going on until he pulled up a email or something showing the details of it. So I didn't get everything. All I remember was one pap.
Wow. He must have really went in.
But he pleaded, or as they call him, Star 67 pleaded not guilty, right? But he still got a trial coming up, right?
Right.
Yeah.
For them to be able to pinpoint, they even have what is it, the IP? They know if he was in it. They even know down to if you was sitting in your living room or your driveway when you was on this internet doing this mess, homeboy. And he's such a fraud and a scam, a counterfeit. Yeah.
I know he has a conference
from your
coming up.
house. I'll just Star 67 from that. I ain't got time.
I didn't even know that mess worked.
He was probably drunk.
And he was high. He was high off of that stuff. Off of that stuff, they all sharing it. Probably they probably have their little parties or whatever. And
he has a conference coming up May 17th.
New York 9/11, and you're calling in bomb threats and all that. You crazy?
Right.
He's clearly not thinking at all. I don't know if he's a thinking person.
They was off of that. I'm willing to bet they all got. I know one of his legal attorneys. They look like they carry an old school crack pipe in their top pocket. They probably go to an old school crack house. They really do. The old 80s fiend. They all act
like old school versus what? I always imagine they all still look like whatever they look like in the movies. They high tech crack houses now.
Right.
They probably ordering their crack online now. Got an app and everything.
They probably be doing the little dope dash, the little
yeah, they got the crack app.
And August is right around the corner.
Yeah, well, like I was saying, Don Russell. So he has a conference coming up in May 17th. This is next conference. So I'm gonna try to. I have a note right here on my desk so I can remember to check in on that one because I'll be forgetting about these little hearings and stuff. But yeah, this guy. The fact that he pled guilty or pleaded, as I don't know why, pleaded guilty. Does that not say that there's connection? I mean, that's linking him to Rico. They linked him to the same judge now. Like, hello, people are still denying it.
And you know what? Out of the blue. I believe that the evidence, especially what they done found, and they're still finding, because I don't know if they don't. You know what? I do give them credit. They do have balls to keep this monkey show going, knowing that it's still under federal investigation. Everything they do is analyzed with a microscope. I hope they know that it's all kind of cameras and recorders on them while they doing this BS on camera and off camera, whether they get on their little channel or if they go back and forth or not. You dum-dums. They have found something in connection without a shadow of a doubt. All we know is he could have been one of the persons on the three-way call with the CEO that was a fan. You might as well say a P-Hyper 2 that's letting them use phones. He ain't gonna be able to put a mess in New York. He's not gonna be able to still be the puppet master when he hit to that, especially that Bronx baby.
Probably
they ain't in the Bronx, they having it. And then he done got that confirmation. Like the maker himself told him, let me tell you something when you arrive. I'm telling you this to your face. That is me and you. And that's why he don't want to go. He knows what's assigned, official, check, and promised, and sealed and delivered. His faith is done. His faith is sealed. It's with a kiss. They don't
I
Yeah,
agree.
I agree too. Yes.
Ain't nobody gonna be memorized with you. Slide ain't none of that. None of that. That's all been out the window. That's not happening. No.
Well,
He got
people, I don't know. I guess people are just delusional still, and I guess fandom goes that far and that deep. Like I don't think I'm a fan of anybody that seriously. I mean, even
No,
with Michael
and
Jackson,
no.
like I love me some Michael Jackson, and I do not, believe all the different things and such. However, I don't think I would do my YouTube channel is not going to turn into Michael Jackson versus against the world.
you know
I'm
what?
not going to do that. I don't understand any fan of a person who goes that far and gets involved and harasses people and burns their cars and shoots at the like that's insanity. That's
You know
crazy.
what? And then he is a big factor and a big influencer of having the whole Chicago, Illinois under investigation. I mean, it brought light to like that undercover agent said in the first Lifetime. He said that if he was on investigation before they keep saying Lifetime and all that. No, that ain't what did it. He was like, it did make us look at people that we didn't even have no idea that we were supposed to be looking at. He said the whole Chicago, Illinois is under federal investigation. And that includes Kim
Jesus.
Fox, Cook County District. That's how they knew Zorro had a hand in it. With her emailing, but with the Smollett, that's where she messed up at. Then they found other conversations, email, text messages, and then our Kelly name get brought up in there. Oh, you had just got appointed in office back then. Oh, this was the anonymous donator to your oh, okay, now
Oh,
okay.
there's always the ties go deep. Chicago is a mob city. Like I'm surprised it is sad to say that R. Kelly.
But this is the face that they want to say that what did he put Chicago on? It's a bad look. Y'all should not y'all should not put him up there and say he ain't done nothing for now one of y'all. Nobody. I've never been able to ain't nothing resurfaced about where he did anything from the kindness of his heart. Not even from the time he jumped off the court. He's never done anything genuinely ever.
And to bring up the mob again on that note, I'm gonna say this because that's probably why they did get to reign like they did, because they took care of their neighborhoods and their, like you know what I mean? Like he didn't do any of that. He wasn't no boss. He didn't treat his people like his people, and these people protected him. A lot of these people still protecting him.
Excuse me, he on his own people, and he still on them. Period. You know what's
I was saying that it's a shame that it took R. Kelly when all these decades before these crimes have been going deep and far in this city, and it took him, and it's because a lot of these bosses went down, and that's how RICO was established, right?
Yeah.
But because no one cares if any of those men were doing to Italian girls what R. Kelly is doing to Black girls, that would have been shut down so long ago. That whole mob stuff would have been shut down because of that. Like they're not going to be doing that, and they they don't care about us. Like it's just sad.
You're exactly right.
So
true that.
Let's talk about this vaccine before we
Okay.
Okay, now Miss Della, how you feel?
Fully vaccinated.
I'll give you a bell. I'll give you a little ding.
You're here on live talking to
us. Being a brave guinea pig for us to tell us what the symptoms and stuff was going on with you. So you feeling good?
I went down for 2 days. I had the Pfizer.
Okay.
When they give you your shot, they do tell you what to expect. And it was everything they said. You get body chills, a horrible migraine, whole body ache, you can't even move. So that happened for like 2 days, and I think I did text you and said, "Good Lord, I feel horrible."
Yes.
and then I felt better. I've known a couple of people that had the Pfizer. I mean, I'm sorry, they had the Johnson and Johnson, because you don't get a
Mm.
choice when you get there. You don't. They don't give you a choice.
Oh, okay.
You. I think one coworker told me when she drove up to the facility, they had a sign out there to tell you, "Hey, we're gonna have the Moderna." I had to wait until I got in there to say which one, and then she said, "You're getting the Pfizer." My husband,
Okay.
by him having this disease, Guillain-Barré disease, it attacks your immune system. He's not even able to get a flu shot, but we found documentation that he can get the vaccine. However, he cannot get the Johnson and Johnson.
Mm.
So no, he
That
could
says a
not.
lot.
Yes, I understand,
That
but
says
I
a
think you
lot.
should get it. I think that you should get the shot, God. I believe. I'm look.
I
Six
appreciate that
people.
sentiment.
Okay. And I'm not,
I hear you.
but I mean,
You
I
sound
want you to
like
be safe.
I'm safe. Y'all the ones that's not safe now. You the one that's gonna be endangering me. I gotta stay
Kim,
away from all y'all and vaccinated people.
Miss
Even my mom.
Kim.
My mom got the Pfizer. I think she got the Pfizer. Yeah, she was down. She
Okay.
said she felt like she was sitting in a tub of ice for the second one, I think. And
And
my grandmother
my mom felt nothing. On her
really,
second shot, nothing.
and she just
You
kept
got
it
some people
moving,
don't
huh?
feel anything.
Yeah. Wow. Some people, like my grandmother, 96, bless her soul, she got her shot, and
Wow.
but she never says anything is wrong with her. Like she fell and hit her head, like literally bled
Oh
on the floor.
no.
But I'm fine. I'm fine. Like she'll never admit any pain. Like I've never had her say anything was wrong with all the things she's been through. And that tells me a lot about myself and why me and my people, why we are the way we are. We don't, this is how we just
Those
know to do.
jeans.
Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
just keep it moving. You keep it moving. You don't have a choice. And then you don't want to and plus you don't want other people, like for me, I don't know anybody here watch Queen Sugar besides me. I know Priscilla, I think she watches it. It's such an amazing show. Ava DuVernay do her thing. But there was an episode where one of the characters, she's a boss now. And this is a black show. She got
I know.
COVID. She didn't want to admit it to nobody because she said, I don't want them looking at me like I'm weak. You know what I mean? Because people perceive you a certain way based on, what is going on with you. So they see you down, life support damn near. They're gonna be like, oh, yeah, you ain't special. They didn't count your specialness out because of that. So yeah, anyway, yeah, Queen Sugar is amazing. It just ended. So if you ain't watched it, binge watch because it's coming back in the fall for your ass.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
great show. I love it.
My
Okay,
mom
so
watches that.
yes. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yes.
she does.
Oh,
It's
Snowfall is good too. I watched
yes,
that
it
last
is.
night.
I
That was
watched
intense.
Snowfall. Yes,
Oh, that was intense.
Snowfall, Queen of the South,
I haven't watched
The
that.
Lions.
I
I haven't
like
watched that.
the originals still come on. I like the original.
No, the originals are gone, girl.
Oh,
Never heard of that.
But
oh,
Never
that was
heard of
a
that.
claw in the fang. It's
yeah,
the reruns. I mean, well, the whole series now. Once it's over, it rolls
yeah.
over to Netflix. So the originals and Vampire
Right.
Diaries, all that's on Netflix.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Well, so yeah, so the Pfizer they say is the best one. Anytime you guys seen those memes of all the different vaccinations, the Pfizer's are best shape, like the strongest. Then they have the Moderna looking all sexy, like capable, but not quite the Pfizer. And then you got Johnson Johnson, just ghetto and all out, just
That
not up to par.
Well, I believe they're gonna start. Shipping back out Johnson and Johnson. I did hear that tonight, and but they're gonna have an announcement. The White House is gonna do a press release on Johnson and why. Because people are nervous. Oh my God, I don't want to get that. I'm gonna get a blood clot. So they should. I think before you get a shot, I think they need to maybe ask you type of medical questions. Maybe this may affect you or something like that. I cannot believe they're
Right.
just finding out right now that Johnson and Johnson causes blood clots.
You can't believe it. You can't
Well, I
believe
mean,
it.
they should have had that prior. But I know they're
Well,
trying to hurry up and get the country vaccinated real quick.
that's what
at
I'm
all
saying.
costs.
That's the point, is that they're rushing everything. Like, they're not taking the time to take, like, there's new strains out. They don't even know if the things that, that but the Pfizer and the Moderna and all that, the new strains, and when they get over here, y'all gonna be all right. And on top of that, y'all can still get the damn thing. My mom was said something like,
hold on now.
look,
Kim,
wait,
did
now
you
let
get
me
this,
finish my rant. Let me finish. Now, my mom was telling me that some family members of mine are going to, and if y'all are listening, y'all crazy. But anyway, in Florida, right? And I'm like, with the pandemic, because we're talking babies and everything. She's like, but they're all vaccinated. I said, but it's still, you can still get it. I mean, and on top of that, look, okay, it's too much. What you got to say, Bella?
Get it. So hold on. If they say if you get it and you're fully vaccinated, you won't get the effects of it.
The severe.
If it hit you unvaccinated. Yes.
Okay, so you won't get the effects, but you might get a blood clot, and you might get Bell's palsy, and you might faint and not wake up 2 days. I mean, I've heard so many different things. And I'm gonna tell you this too. There's been some mysterious happenings in some of these parts, and they didn't start happening until people started getting vaccinated. These people are going. But did you hear the story about the person that went behind the McDonald's counter with the chainsaw, or the man at the gas station who looked directly into the camera and basically looked like a werewolf, like he was just gonna eat everybody? Like, I mean, I'm telling you, and I was like, the vaccination chronicles begin. Kim has her hand up.
I know. Go ahead,
Yes,
Kim.
I have a few family members that's pharmacy technicians, and before they pulled I don't even know why they put Johnson and Johnson on the shelf, knowing about the past history.
Right.
But before it hit news media out here in Vegas, and before I see them on other cities and states news channels, they had got the inside scoop, like, we're pulling it because it's more negative outcome than it is positive. Now, we have an 18-year-old girl in Vegas that was on the news day before yesterday, 18 years old. She's Caucasian mix, no prior health problems or issues, from what they're saying. She's at UMC Hospital. She instantly, I think within a 24-hour period, had seizures, fever and stuff, and found out, and she had several blood clots on her brain. And so she's fighting for her life after receiving that vaccination.
Oh, wow. Poor baby. And this was the Johnson and Johnson, did they say?
Yes, and the family was actually contacted. They didn't say by who, wasn't just by like vigilantes on the streets, like your neighbor, nothing. Not to come out public and say anything. They came public. They're like in front of that. She's like, no, I'm gonna say something because this is my child. She might not make it,
Right.
And if it's from the vaccine, that's what happened. She got it. She received it. We got her home, and hours later, this is what happened. So she feels like, she said, the prayer and everything. She's there, making awareness, and she has an attorney. The family. It was, my oldest brother. He owns his own barbershop. I think it just Pfizer and Moderna. It affects some people. Some people don't. I mean, it was a male had the Moderna, and his funeral has been arranged. I don't know. I'm terrified of all three of them, four of them, whatever they got going on.
I've never taken a flu shot. That should tell you something. That's how I feel about these things.
We don't know what they're giving us. We
Never
don't
in my life.
We don't know.
I ain't got it.
And
but isn't this an rDNA situation? It mess with your DNA. Don't they pluck something out your DNA?
I believe
put something in your DNA.
Family.
Are you even human now, Della?
Remember,
how do we
the
know
only one that gets the flu shot in the family, and I got the flu. Remember, I was damn.
Yes, I told you.
They force you at the job, but you constantly get emails and emails to get the flu shot. You got to sign a waiver. And I just go ahead and they work on you from the time you come from this, or did you get your flu shot? So I just normally get a flu shot. Steve cannot get a flu shot because of that disease. But
Wow.
and I got the flu for the first time in my life.
See,
It was
Miss Della.
horrible.
See, that should have been your clue. That's your clue right there. You gonna ignore the clue till you remember. It's like, oh yeah.
I'm not ignoring the clue. I'm putting it on Steve. He
Oh,
came home and
okay.
said, I got a cold. He was coughing, and next thing you know, I went down.
But you got the flu shot.
Exactly.
What? They done pumped all that flu shit inside of you.
Oh my
And now they done
God.
put something in your DNA. They done plucked something out and put something in your DNA. Now they
Kim,
gotta check. We
get
gotta
your
see if you
last
even
look.
human.
Kim, get your last look at me, dear. Remember this video. If something, if I go down.
You
I
gonna be fine.
hey, we will be bringing away. I will fight for justice.
You are
I
preyed
just want,
upon. You are
yes,
preyed upon woman and protected.
That
Yes.
true that.
Some of us are just protected. So
and then with
True
the
that.
speaking of the pandemic and vaccination, I don't know how it's going in other states or cities, but my city got so much mixed narrative going around. They want to be open May the 1st fully. Casinos, nightclubs, lounges, strip clubs not gonna be required to wear a mask. Just a whole 100%
Oh my
bowling like
God.
but then they come and say this morning it's a lot of Chevron gas stations throughout the whole Nevada, not just Vegas, the whole state that don't have no gas. They've been out of gas for over 3 days still. Then they said it's a water, it's a warning that it's gonna be a water shortage for us in the valley. And then they said that the lung association sent their, I believe, maybe like a scientist people, whatever, they said that Vegas it's going to cause health problems for us, the air that we're breathing in currently, and it's healthy, it's not safe, and it might cause like a public announcement like type. So that was announced breaking news this morning. But then
mm,
okay, water shortage. The Chevron ain't had no gas because that's a Chevron at the corner. I'm 5 homes from the corner. Chevron gas station. They just put it there. They just got gas yesterday. They was out 2 days, but it's still several
what?
that's going on. Yeah, and I look at all those things, those kind of net, those things. But if I'm like, y'all want to open up, well, because Memorial Day coming up or whatever, because it's about money. But then they're overly stocking their back. They have it now. They got the paper so tiny, y'all, in the stores like this, limited
Politician.
toilet tissue,
Oh my
hand sanitizers
God.
again. So they have it tablets, little taped on there. They back doing that again, and
Oh,
packs of meat,
Wow.
packs of
something's
meat.
going on. Yeah,
They're
something.
raising the stamp. My dad got stamps. He's never in his life applied for welfare ever. But he got a food stamp card in the mail.
What?
They're adding depositing money in people. My dad's light bill just got paid for 3 months. He didn't apply for no energy assistance, but it's like that mixed narrative. We're preparing you because you're gonna need
Yeah,
this.
it sounds like they're preparing for something to
Yes.
happen.
But at the same time, I'm
Scary.
gonna say Vegas is back, full effect. Yeah, no pandemic. Yeah, everything's fine. People fly in. Come on, let's go.
Wow. And it's people flying in too.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
confused though about the air thing because I thought air is just air, like it's
I
everywhere.
agree.
Like
Yeah.
how you contain air in one area to be a certain thing, it's
But
gonna
you know
go.
what else? Because the news anchor said, well, I don't know if you guys noticed that if you look up in the sky the past few weeks, sometimes it look a little grainy, a little foggish, like a little dirty. But who would have known that we will be rated this unhealthy? But it makes me think about like the old test site. They're still paying families and people like my grandmother when she remarried. My grandfather used to work at the old test site out here, and he used to actually go in the mines like underground and
Mm,
things that they breathed in. Like she had to get tested, but even though he had passed away, it was like big lawsuit. Actually, my best friend, her brother-in-law, because it affects your eyesight, it causes like
Mhm.
blind that it's sort of like a sarcoidosis, the stuff that they inhale. And he used to work at the test site, early retirement, but they now if you're still living, they pay for your doctor's appointments and treatments. And my grandmother got paid off because she was a spouse, but they're paying people like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like my grandmother got paid over 500,000 because that was the cause of death. That's what caused his health problems, and that's all like
Yeah.
airborne because what he breathed and inhaled. And so with this stuff coming about now, I'm pretty sure it's always a helicopter every day. The fake clouds, we don't know what they put
That's
in
that
the
Area 51 stuff
I
too.
agree.
Don't forget, y'all got them aliens over there housed up.
they've been trying to fill up every part of the desert. Like, I think some areas the ground shouldn't be disturbed. I'm a firm believer that. I think some places on Earth is not supposed to be built on or dug and being open. Leave it alone.
I agree, Miss
It's Earth Day, y'all.
So it's scary. It's very frightening
Yeah,
for me.
I would be afraid as well.
That is scary, Kim.
We got people. I noticed this, y'all, today, and I wouldn't say like a conspiracy theorist, but I be paying attention to details. I noticed last night that they had a lot of, I've never seen these kind of all black on black tinted windows. They didn't have government plates, but I believe they were in that family riding through the neighborhood, and today too as well. The SUVs or whatever. But last night it was a lot of K9 units that was riding with their lights off, even their headlights, slowly, quietly through my street and the main street for over an hour.
What? For over an hour?
Yeah,
Well,
they were
stay,
riding with
stay in
it.
prayer
I counted
and
like
stay
7.
safe.
I
Stay out
counted like
them streets.
7. Yep, and then the unmarked cars that I call it, one had earlier today we had parked on the other end. But the way they were driving, it was suspicious. Like, it just a strange feeling, eerie, like jet black tinted windows.
And no lights on.
Yeah, and then you know your neighborhood. You know
And
when
that's
you get
looking more conspicuous than not. It's like you might as well just jump in a Toyota and like act like you're just a regular person. Ain't nobody gonna know.
You know what? You know how they say your first mind is always right? I heard a soft voice say agents, like, you never know. We don't
Kim is
know.
on the job.
We don't know
Kim is on
who
the
is
job.
by the guy. Like, we don't know. They want people from what I heard, they said they want citizens to sign up for a free 2-week training to help out the National Guards that got brought in Vegas last Friday.
Put your life on the line. Just get a whole 2-week training. These National Guards,
These
National Guards are military.
We need help.
No, they're literally military. And you want citizens to just do a 2-week training and come on aboard. Come on now. Like, and I bet you if people run into that, they run into it because they don't have nothing going on. People don't have jobs. They can't barely feed their families. Of course they're gonna do it.
I see that mess, I said 2 weeks of free training. They was like, don't be alarmed. You see a lot of military.
2 weeks of they're gonna put you right on the front line. They're gonna put you and not even arm you, and they're gonna basically have you be their bulletproof protection. Wear this vest and this helmet.
It's free, you guys. Fox 5 is free, and they're short staffed. You know,
they're not paying them.
They're saying the training is free, but people.
Well, I would hope that they're not going to charge people to put themselves in a position of getting killed. That's really what they're doing. They're like, stand here, we'll put this on and stand right here. Perfect. All right. That's all you got to do. We just want you to stand there.
And I'm saying to myself, short staff, when they had the business sending a few, allegedly, the people that they had.
Well, it is true that I think, for enrollment in the military, recruitment is down, okay, as well as the police departments. And a lot of policemen are also fleeing their posts. So there is shortages happening. And, that's what happens. It's called bad press. Like, do a better job.
Right. And I was like, 2 weeks training. They just kept, I don't know. But you don't have
crazy. I need proof of that, Kim. I need proof. I don't know if I believe that.
Shared it. I put it. I said, y'all see this?
Where? On Twitter?
Facebook.
Oh, I don't
know.
But
I'll send it to you.
I need proof of this one because that sounds like a stretch. 2 weeks training. Okay. Well, I got a text a bit ago, Toke64. He's probably gone by now, but he sent me a text and y'all not. I don't know if y'all know this, but let me put it on the screen. that this happened. Well, I guess while we were live, this got announced. I'm thinking. Okay, so Shock G of Digital Underground has passed away at 57 years old. I know. Shock G. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have probably had Tupac. Well, we probably would have anyway, but he came through Digital Underground. We know that.
Sure
So
did.
let's see. The hip hop world has lost another legend. On Thursday night, several outlets reported the death of 57-year-old Digital Underground member Shock G, birth name Gregory Jacobs. Details of his death have not been revealed. However, Digital Underground co-founder Chopmaster Jay confirmed the tragedy in an Instagram post. Ago, almost to the day, we had a wild idea. We can be a hip hop band and take on the world. He captioned an old photo of Shock G. Through it all, the dream became a reality and the reality became a nightmare for some. And now he's awakened from the fame. Long live Shock G, AKA Humpty Hump. And rest in peace. Oh my goodness. I remember seeing them live. Actually, it was maybe about 5 years ago. It wasn't that long ago. And it was just like it was so electric. Like, wow.
I used to my neighbors, I know their neighbors, they used to the Humpty Dance is the dance. The house party is mainly off of that song.
Right. We're gonna go out on the instrumental. Shout out Shock G.
Thank you, Miss Della. I love you. And the cat for joining us.
Wow. Another one. In his 50s too. What's up with that?
To me, that's young.
Wow.
Hey, I'm doing the dance. You can't see me. My arms are going back. Hey.
He said, can't see me.
Can't see me, but I see you doing the Humpty. You do it too. Let's go. On God is Not Live. Let's rock it. Thanks, Tux, for shouting, giving me the insight while I'm live, so we can honor this brother. This was some good times back in the day.
That was great time. Real dance.
There's no music like this.
That is true. Yes.
Hey, so we'll be back Saturday. I know I flaked on you last night, but honestly, I'm tired, y'all. I started a business, y'all, and we are busy. Wow. Yes, we'll have to tell you all about it. We'll catch up with you, Cordella. But thank you everybody for joining us. If you in the replay, I appreciate you. Comment, let me know you stopped by. If you came in the chat, I appreciate you, and in the bushes also. And Miss Della, thank you, and Miss Kim.
Yeah, Miss Kim, you guys are welcome. I'm sleepy as hell too.
I know. Get some rest. We'll see you Saturday.
Morning.
Okay.
Right,
see you Saturday, y'all.
So
peace
much.
and love.
Appreciate everything.
Till next time.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Hey. Hey. Yes.